8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Come on, come on, come on. How you want it, cognac or Patron? Brunch with the boys, we gon' give you what you want. And what you don't know, we about to put you on. Come on, come on, come on. How you want it, cognac or Patron? Brunch with the boys, we gon' give you what you want. And what you don't know, we about to put you on. Yes, we are the trending topic. We relationship prophets. Brunch with the boys, we the hottest. Brunch with the boys, we the hottest.
What's going on? It's your boy King Des here. Another episode of Brunch with the Boys. We have a special guest tonight, but first, gentlemen, how are we tonight?
Jeez, what's good, everybody? 2020.
It is me.
Why are you growling?
It's 2020. Yeah, it's Jesus. It's not a time to make New Year's resolutions and get saved. You know what I'm saying? It's 2020. You know, for at least 30 days.
All right, that's like, hold on, Jesus, we gotta let Jen say his normally weird ass introduction. Go ahead, Jen.
All I'm trying to say is, man, it's Mr. Chin Out Chill. That's it.
I wish you would do that every episode.
I like to bring the flavor.
I could probably live with that.
It's all flavor.
So who do we have with us?
Exactly.
I'll go with Alex.
Alex. All right.
Yes.
I like the way you hold that X out of there, the Alex. Like you put an S at it. You know, black people will spell the name Alexs. Like,
no, it'd be
or it'd be 6 X's.
Aleks.
Yeah. Or throw a Y in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's silent. So listen, we getting into social media and how it affects relationships. And when I say relationships, I think we mean relationships of all kinds and not necessarily just romantic ones. And, you know, it was funny thinking about the things that, you know, this topic covers. And I was hoping to come from a positive perspective, but I gotta be honest, when I really think about it, everything about social media and relationships, romantic relationships, seem to be negative as hell.
Hell yeah, bro.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so.
We'll try to find some positives in this podcast, but you know.
I believe it is a rarity where social media is used for good in a relationship.
What is that?
And I think that, you know, these posts when they have a picture of their man or a picture, this is my queen and I'll do anything for her. And I think in those ways, social media can be good. But for the most part, I think social media is used the wrong way. I think women pay attention to social media, and maybe men do too in certain ways. And I shouldn't say women because I think, and maybe Alex is going to be able to speak on that a bit more, but the likes and the, oh, you're going to comment fire, double eyes, and a, you know what I'm saying? The heart, like, that shouldn't be an issue in your relationship.
It shouldn't be, but it is.
Emojis, nigga.
Yeah.
We arguing over emojis, bitch.
Yeah, dog. It's different.
Very true.
So do you find that men watch those type of things as well, Alex? Because we know y'all do.
Depending on the man, depending on if it's like a gay man, straight man, depending on the man. But in my relationship, he don't watch that because I don't watch his page and he don't watch my page, and we don't post anything about each other on each other's page because that's my page. It's my own individual self, you know, and I'm very private about my relationship, unlike half the world.
Yeah.
So everybody likes to post everything. And for women, I think it's a competitive thing. Like, oh, look at my man. Look what he did. He brought me flowers today. I'm like, bitch, I've been getting flowers since forever. It don't have to be like broadcast. As long as that person is treating you right, then
is that,
I don't feel the need to broadcast it.
Is that really the reason, or is more the reason the fact that you don't want everyone to know that you got a really good man and women are spiteful like that and they gonna come for him?
It's that too. Women are definitely going to come for anything good in your life. Even if it's just like, I'm an entrepreneur and I got girlfriends who I'm trying to, you know, look at Kevin Hart. Look at that shit. Like, you trying to help your people. Somebody still try to bite you in the ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So it's like, you just got to pick and choose what you choose to share. Because once it's out there, it's out there. But I personally, you can go to my Instagram page right now. Nobody would know I'm engaged and we live, you know, nobody knows my whole life. But
yeah,
that's my
real.
family.
That
And that's
sense.
all I keep it in my family group chats because they matter to me. That's what's really important to me.
Yeah.
You
But it just
spoke
depends on the
about
person.
Kevin Hart, and you know, I don't want to get too in detail about that, but you did say his friend set him up. The reality is he kind of had to do it himself too. You know what I mean? So I think that is, he put himself in that position.
He did put himself in that position.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning that at all because you wrong.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for your friend to try to extort you in any way, but he's your so-called friend, he's jealous of what you have because you broadcast everything. But that's how it works. That's how people know who you are. That's why you're probably the highest paid comedian. And I got a Nike deal. I ain't never seen no comedian on Nike. It's always been athletes.
What's the story behind it? Because not everyone actually is going to know about that. So what's the context behind it?
The context from what I saw, this is just what I saw on TMZ, was that his friend was trying to extort millions of dollars. And, of course, the sex tape came out anyway. Okay. But it was over that sex tape, from my understanding. You don't have to quote me on that, but it just goes to show you that people who may be in your circle, they might be hating on you a little bit. So sometimes you don't have to share every single thing, especially when you're not on Kevin's level. If you're not that, he shares stuff because it makes him money. That keeps Kevin in our forethought for us to go pay to go see his movies and stuff. Makes sense. He has to do certain things. But it's like certain people who just regular people that work at Walmart, you mad because I bought a SUV or whatever it is, but you keep in my face, but talking about me behind my back.
Let me ask you, Des, how do you feel about being in a relationship where your girl posts a picture? Do you feel like you're required to comment on it? Is that something? Can you imagine being in a relationship where she gets mad because you didn't comment on her picture? Damn.
Nah, I wouldn't be with that type of person. Like that, we wouldn't even be in a relationship, right? Because I know she was weird as fuck.
Come on, man. That could have slipped by. This one's not something that couldn't have slipped by. Especially seeing how social media came on more, rampantly later than
Listen. I was born in the 80s. So I'm normal and I know how shit works. And the bottom line is, if my girl ever had a problem with me for no other reason than I didn't comment or put a like on a picture she posted online.
And she saw you looked at it because they can tell now.
I already chose wrong.
Yeah. They can tell you looked at it. They can tell when you look but don't.
You talking about a bad brick on a shitty foundation. At this point, it don't matter. We done found 100 other bad bricks.
That's tough.
You know what I mean? So
I don't like when I hear that an emphasis is placed on the use of social media. And I love to hear how you feel about this, Alex. Do you feel like it's important that your man, and I guess I know your answer based on what you said, but the emphasis to boast and, big up your mate in order to say you care. And if you don't do things like that, you're essentially hiding them. I don't understand the people that think that way. And, I think that's obvious, but that shit fucks with me.
Yeah, you know who called me out on not posting my engagement photos was my mother. She's like, how does he feel that you didn't post your engagement photos? I was like, Mommy, I shared them with my family who is important and who's really praying for us to succeed. I don't need to share it with half of these people who follow me or businesses who want me to buy stuff. Like, come on, I don't have to share every single thing. I think that the emphasis that's placed on social media is more so, like I said, for women, it's more of a I'm better than you type of situation, because that's the first thing that comes out their mouth when they want to like dog you out. Like, oh, you ain't shit, single ass bitch. That's how they do. They be like, oh, you ain't got no man. That's how they do. But you would never know what's going on unless I share that with you. Hey, and I just think that when you have to control what you're putting out there, if you want positive feedback or negative feedback, but you got to take all feedback if you just willing to lay everything bare and you don't have nothing for yourself.
I remember this situation where from my lady, I had created this. It was her birthday. And I did this whole thing. Like, I'm talking about VIP, customized dinner, limo ride, all that shit, right? And that takes a lot of thought and a lot of effort. So you would assume that would make that person holistically happy, right? Oh, yeah. And I remember that I got the business because on the birthday, I didn't post something specifically from my page to indicate happy birthday, babe, you everything.
So you're hiding her. I'm telling you.
And immediately crazy. I'm like, so I just spent $1,000 and hours of my time to make sure that you're happy. And the first thing you want to talk about,
you could have saved the money.
Yeah, first thing you want to talk about is a post.
next year, save the money.
Post, nigga.
I would be like, you unappreciative.
What? Lost my goddamn mind.
You should be allowed to chop a hole in the throat.
Oh my God. Right.
You know where that comes from? That reaction from her comes from the pressure of social media making you feel like you need to look like Megan Good and her husband posting shit all day, every day. Like, you don't have to do that to be happy. You can be happy just between you and your spouse. So it don't have to be all day. I've been more than shit. You gave me $1,000. I'm like, thank you, babe. It's my birthday. I'm gonna go buy what I want. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Let's talk about unrealistic expectations, because to me, that's what that speaks on. I think social media gives impressions of what their lifestyle is when it really isn't that. And I think we get caught up on appearances, and everyone's looking at, you know, how this looks, but it's not really focused on what it really is. You know what I mean? And you talked about celebrities. We're watching them. Oh, they look like they doing this. So first thing you say to your man is, hey, I want to go to Hawaii too. Why? You ain't took me to Hawaii. You know what I mean? And he over there saying,
it's expensive as hell.
For real. Yeah. And I just want to point this out real quick before I stop. He over there saying, damn, why your body don't look good like such and such on Instagram? You know what I'm saying? Dang. No, keep it real, because I think that ruins relationships too. We're sitting here, you know, oh man, fascinating over these women, everything on IG. And we're seeing it. It's putting unrealistic expectations on the women that we're seeing day to day.
Des, let me ask you a question. Do you think this has anything to do with self-esteem? This intense desire to feel as if you need to be recognized or publicized on social media?
Yeah, I think self-esteem or confidence in your relationship with people, I mean, some combination or inner working of those things, right? Because ultimately, if I have a relationship with somebody and the way that they know or the way that they understand our relationship to be defined is determined by a post on a social media platform, then we don't have the type of relationship we should have anyway. Do you know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, I don't think it has anything to do with it.
I know a chick, right? And this chick, she makes herself miserable because what she does is she looks at social media and she sees one of her friends and she's flying on a G5 to France. And all of a sudden, it somehow identifies her as not up to par. And what she ends up doing is taking that same notion, and that has that trickle down effect. And she go hit her man up and talking about, well, why we ain't doing that?
Let's take it away from relationships. Even the pressure and the anxiety they put on their own lives. Yeah. And I think that's more important, because everyone's watching social media and we're thinking this and that, and we're really hurting ourselves and making yourselves feel like shit because you're not doing this, you're not doing that. You don't even know what's really going on with their lives. And sometimes a lot of what we see is a lot. You know what I mean? So
I just want to motherfucking meet the Joneses, because they fucking up everybody. These motherfucking Joneses, we gonna find them, hunt them down. It's gonna be purge. It's gonna be the purge day.
I think people people have to be happy with their life and happy with themselves. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand any of this. Like I really don't. I don't surround myself or have relationships with people who define other relationships by social media commentary and likes and dislikes. I don't have any friends that use that as a really important measuring stick in their relationships with people. So I don't even understand. I understand that this happens in society now, but I don't.
You can't even speak to it.
I don't.
Yeah. You think it's a maturity issue?
No, because I think that I disagree, because, and I want to let Alex respond, but I would say no, just based on her example, that her mom was questioning her about why she didn't post her.
Why can't an older woman be immature?
So, you know what? When he said immature, I interpreted that, and this was me. So I interpreted that as generational. Okay. Meaning, like, is it that younger folks who haven't seen a lot are still thinking these things? So I took it that way. If you're talking about
state of mind,
the sense of the word, then you're right.
Yeah. Alex, what do you think?
For me, maturity is a mental state of mind, because you know, I used to have young people in the community, and you kind of knew which child was going to be a badass kid or an intellectual smart kid when you used to babysit. Like I used to babysit, and sure enough, here they go. And I feel old because now they all married and, you know, starting their own businesses and stuff. But it was just like I felt like they were very mature for their age. But again, it goes back to their pressure. My mom feels the need to try to keep up with the Joneses, because now all the people in her generation are dying off. She's kind of the last laugh, unfortunately. I'm trying to find her somebody
not the last Mohican. Jesus.
But it's about being mature enough to be okay with yourself and know that, listen, everybody struggle. Everybody go through all the stuff that you feel and that you go through. It's true. but everybody don't show the bad part of, every single thing they go through. They show all the good stuff.
True.
Is mama struggling to find a man out there in the streets?
She would, when she got remarried, he died in a terrible car accident. So she just hasn't dated anybody. So for her, social media is a way to connect to others.
She's
honestly, she's not going to admit that, but that's her way of connecting to everybody and all her kids. Yeah. So it's just like, mommy, listen, it's okay to be on social media, but don't soak it all up. Like, I need to be doing what everybody else is doing. It's okay. It's okay to enjoy it for what it is, but you need separate outlets from social media. For me, that's what I think.
I could be wrong, and I don't want to go off topic too much, but, I always go off topic. It seems like when you have your life together and you're attractive, it's not difficult to find a man. So many women say it's hard to find a man. So many do. And I do see many examples of women who have it all together and still can't find a man. But I don't know. I'm just looking at you, girl, and I'm saying,
I've come to the reality that women outnumber men in the U.S. I just really believe that women really outnumber men in the U.S., especially in the Black community, because a lot of Black men are still in jail, even though they've legalized weed. A lot of them are still in there on those same bogus charges.
Yeah, we started
still
smoking
sitting in
too
jail,
soon.
And now the way men are, especially like in certain cities, they want you to be okay with them, having 3-4 relationships going on at the same time, or 3-4 side chicks going on. And they'll tell you like, oh, well, you're not my main, but you got to be okay with this. They'll tell you, like, I'm separated from my husband, but are you cool with this or not? Because if I could find somebody else, they'll just tell you. They kind of a little bit more abrupt because it's so much easier.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. Straightforward.
Honesty up front.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you talking to that. But to get back to what we were talking about, I wanted to ask you. No, I think I started it, girl. I wanted to ask you about the things you see as far as the women and the images on Instagram, Facebook, all that, Snapchat, and knowing everybody sending videos and, all the raunchiness. Do you feel pressured in any way to keep up with that? How do you feel like that's really affecting women in general? Because I think the young girls are seeing it and thinking this is what I have to do. And no video is worth posting unless they twerking on it or if they half naked. Everything, you know what I'm saying? And
I definitely feel pressure to always kind of like be on. Like, you got to come out, face has to be done. But I knew that I could never leave the house because my grandmother taught me, don't ever leave the house not well put together. You just don't go out in rollers. You just don't do those things. But now it's like these people financing their whole body to be redone to look like, celebrities.
To
whatever they want to look like.
To them, $350 a month, baby.
They're putting themselves in debt to look a certain way, no matter the health issues. So you want to live short, have a shorter life. You're going to shorten your lifespan to look good for a year. You might die from fake implants or whatever you put in your body.
I seen that in the gym today. I seen a young lady who I can tell you that the ass to thigh ratio, that was not natural. It was not natural. You can't have thighs. You understand what I'm saying? You can't have thighs, and I'm Black, so I'm an expert on this.
Oh, are you?
You can't have thighs that small with ass that big. It don't work like that. I done seen too many thick Black women in my life to know you ain't got to do it. And that ass was so poking out. I said, I know it's. It moved now.
But you didn't stop looking though.
Oh no, it definitely swayed to the side when she walked. It did what it was supposed to do, but I just knew it had some help. And I digress.
You know what a perfect example of this, dog? I feel social media started that whole waist trainer craze. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was cinching in and putting themselves in a waist trainer just to get that look that they've seen on Instagram models and Facebook models and stuff. I ain't mad at them because it do look good, but like, imagine what you had to go through to just kind of get there.
I just think that women, and this statement is going to come off as if I'm full of shit, because in a way I am. I think that women should be okay with their bodies like men are. And, we can go
Y'all
to the gym.
have it so easy.
Why is that? Why do you feel like we have it easy?
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm
no,
gonna let you finish,
good. Go
but
ahead.
let me tell you why y'all have it so easy. Because no matter how old, how ugly, no matter what, a man can always pull a woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be you got good dick or you got a big pocket, you can always pull a woman. But it's vice versa with women.
Or if you have
unless you Madonna, and you can get a dude a Game Boy, a PlayStation, he'll come hang around you because he's 25.
A woman can always
I'm
get a
just
man to
saying.
sleep with her.
No,
She
a
can't.
I'm just telling you.
a nice 50-year-old
I'm
right
telling
now.
you, I know a lot of single old women
That can't
who
get
are
dick?
in the church and they never ever.
No, but that's a
Like,
choice.
have
If they
married
want a
people.
dick, they want a dick,
They can get
they
it.
could get it.
They just
can't-
wait. Right now, they're waiting on the Lord. That's all.
No, they're gonna be waiting forever,
Right,
nigga. That's that wait is to the end. That wait is till he comes and gets us. But what?
They wait. They be waiting, but they because that's their belief though. To
No,
wait
no,
and
but
not
my
have all
point
this
is,
premarital
they
sex.
can't
Some women
get
really
dick.
truly hold that to their heart.
God
you know?
bless them.
But they can get dick though. They just can't get a man, and there's a huge difference.
It is a
That's a
difference.
difference.
Yes, because a man, he can get a girl. That man, that ugly ass nigga you just described, he has a bitch wanting to be with him forever. You know what I'm saying? But that same ugly woman, she can just get the dick for the night. You know what I mean? That's all she
That's
can get.
it, and that's the difference. That's why I was like,
Saying, maybe a little nut on her face. I mean, if she lucky.
Nah, it's true though.
She lucky. I mean, I was feeling generous that night. You know what I'm saying? Like, here you go, bro. Ah.
I was gonna say something, but he right though. He right. Yeah.
But I want to go off on a different angle right now too. Friendships.
Okay.
I don't think it has to always be romantic. I think what's big now is cyberbullying. And I have a friend, who recently told me a story where her and her friend get into a verbal issue or disagreement on social media. She says one thing, she online, of course, so everybody can read, and then she retaliates. So now she hiding in the goddamn bathroom, scared to come out because she don't want to get her ass whooped. The fact of the matter is, if we never put ourselves in that position by getting online,
Right.
you know what I'm saying,
It
talking
wouldn't even
shit.
turn
But
to that.
I disagree with this completely. We are giving social media power that it does not have the power to hold.
She wouldn't have said that shit in her face.
What I mean,
Because if she would have, she wouldn't have been in the
Keyboard
bathroom.
killer.
You know what I'm saying?
what I mean by that is, I have some social media platforms, but I have no publicized or communicated social media presence. And for me, if somebody was talking shit, somebody could be talking shit about me on Facebook or some other social media platform for years now, and I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care. Like
But that's only because you're disjointed
I just
and you
don't
don't give
think
a fuck
So
about
my
social
point,
media.
my point exactly is my disjointedness from social media is not unique to me.
Yeah.
It is available to any
That's
motherfucker
true.
who wants it.
Anyone is capable
So-
of it. I agree.
so-
I think we can all
Okay,
agree
but-
with that.
It's not a superpower.
It
I
is.
got one thing to say that the only reason,
Justice League or
the only thing that drives that is that fear of missing out, though. And
Yes,
that
But you
fear
got to
of
get over
missing
your
out-
fucking self. Listen, there's consequences to everything.
what are you missing, nigga?
Yep.
What are you missing, nigga? The latest dance, nigga?
Right.
YouTube, nigga. What are you really missing?
Some viral
And-
video.
And the people that scroll all day. You looking at your friends' lives over. Oh, look at my friend. She just did. What the fuck does that matter?
Hold on, nigga. So you're trying
Right.
TMZ would not exist if people didn't have a fear of missing out on shit.
That's real.
That-
Let's just be honest.
That's real.
That is because people want to be in the know so that they can talk about some shit.
But that's not the
Yeah.
that's not the argument here. The argument isn't what the fear of missing out is. The argument is that people have control over it. There's like people who eat too fucking much, and there's people who work
And
out.
the big
So-
bitches clearly don't have control of it. The big niggas clearly don't have control of it.
Correct.
So,
Correct. So that's on both sides of the coin. So
You
be one of the
greedy
people
ass
that
nigga.
has control of it. There's always going to be people that don't have control of some aspect of their life. Don't be one of
Yeah.
them when this comes to the social media.
and in a sense,
Exactly.
this is a real addiction. This is a real addiction.
Absolutely.
And can be compared to any other, in my opinion.
It is
I
kind
totally
of
agree.
addiction. It
Do
is
you,
kind of
Alex?
addiction.
You agree, Alex?
I totally agree. This is an addiction, and you have to
Like porn.
stop with the screen time. It is like porn. It kind of suck you in, like
Yeah.
watching, porn.
First of all, I don't know why your smile got so big. Listeners, y'all can't see it,
but 2
but
hours go by. And
listen,
you watch
girl.
Pornhub for 2 hours, not realizing I'm sitting here watching all these suggestions that they keep
Damn,
popping
you
up.
right,
Oh, you should
though.
watch this.
Salute
The
to
same thing
you,
with YouTube.
girl.
Look at you describing my Saturday
Salute to
afternoon.
you.
You're so crazy.
And your fiance is a very lucky man, fella, homeboy, wherever you at, get it in, dog. I'm happy for you. I don't know you, but I'm happy somebody getting it that way, girl. You're doing your thing. I just want to clap it up real quick.
Say it again, brother.
Everything
Say it
she
again,
said
brother.
spoke to my heart.
Say it again, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Jesus.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, my bad. We just need to take
Well,
that
thank
break.
you, sir.
But no, though, I really think the cyberbullying needs to stop. I think we have to
Yeah.
start communicating online and communicate face to face. I'll never forget in my relationship, I expressed extreme gratitude and being proud of an accomplishment because she had just got her doctorate. And I remember saying this big speech, and it was beautiful. If you ask me, I'm articulate. I was well spoken, and I made it up on the fly. But nigga, you would have thought I wrote it. You know what I'm saying? And when it was all said and done, the next day she was on some old. You know, it really bothered me that you didn't post anything on social media about. I'm like, damn, girl, I thought my speech was kind of gangster. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I've been here supportive. You know, through the whole process, as you know, that's not exactly. You know what I'm saying? So for her to say that, and that's really when it hit me. Like, this is now a trait. This is now something that in dating, you know, you have to think about and say, yeah, I can't be with someone. I need to say, so what's your take on social media? Because if she says that's who she is, listen, we can't work because I don't care about that shit.
What I say 20 minutes ago?
Yeah, exactly.
We can't even be in a relationship.
Yeah, we can't.
I don't get.
We can't even have a drink together, ho.
But you can get the dick. But we can't be in a relationship. You can get the dick.
If you give her the dick,
look at you out here telling the truth.
Is she your? But I'm saying, is she your Facebook friend and she following you? Because if you fucking her and you got these lines crossed, you know she watching.
She wilding out.
You got, oh my God. Don't you like a picture? She on it, everything you post. Damn, nigga, you was there. You know what I'm saying? She checking for everything. If the dick worth anything, if it ain't, then she should leave you be. You should be good, fella. You should be good, homie.
That's a telltale sign right there, buddy.
It's up to you. I don't know what you're working with, fella. But if the dick ain't worth nothing, then you good.
So Alice, let me answer your question. You perusing your man's social media for whatever reason. Let's say, I'm not saying you looking for it, but at the end of the day, you're looking through his shit and you see one woman that's literally liking everything, loving it 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways. Are you in your feelings?
Depends on if I know the person. If I know this woman, if she's somebody who's supposed to be like in our circle of friends, then I'll be like, okay, let me holler. Because I just had that situation yesterday where one of his friends, him and his girl are going through something and they always video chat. So he's like, yeah, they just 3-way me into their whole conversation. I said, tell him that's disrespectful because you guys have guy time. Don't have his woman on a big face chat with my man. I don't like that. I met her. She's cool, but I don't know her that well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I don't know what your intention is. But if it's some girl I don't know, I'm just like, okay, cool, whatever.
You just
work out every day.
You just pissed on your man.
His ass too. But I always remind him, like I told you last time, you better treat me the way you want to be treated because I'll make sure that I shit on your ass. Like Remy Ma. I promise you. If you do something with those likes more than just appreciate the likes, then I find out it's gonna be a problem because that's who I am. I'm like, I'm a Cancer. I love you.
That wouldn't bother me.
But if you,
that wouldn't bother me. The likes, if I see you comment,
unless something happened, unless I knew the person.
Exactly, because it can hit close to home. But you like some buff nigga picture. I'm like, that nigga swole. I see that nigga out there. I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what the fuck? You want me to do some push-ups? Okay, I'll give. You know what I'm saying? I'll bulk up a little bit.
The same nigga that has a problem with that is the same nigga that doesn't believe that his girl goes into the world every day and niggas flirt with her and she sees niggas that looks good and she just doesn't mention any of that shit to you. Fellas, do you know how many times motherfuckers flirted with your girl and she doesn't even say anything to you about it? Because she's avoiding the problem? Think about it.
And let me tell you a flip side of that shit that you don't even think about. Fellas, you know how many times your girl goes out into the world and no nigga ever approaches her ass? So when she comes home and you ignore her ass too, she is feeling very fucking insecure and emotional because she feel like don't nobody want her ass? I mean, it's on her, but
what does that lead to?
That really depends on the girl.
It's a deep dog. I'm telling you, dog. I don't know what my point here other than to express that this is an angle. They got a very hard situation going on for them. So, you got to be careful what you're getting into.
Just take a seat for a second.
You know what I'm saying? There's pretty people problems. Y'all don't have these type of problems. You know what I'm saying? These ugly people problems. So, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like somebody out there needed to hear that. You know what I mean?
We love you, boo. We love you, boo.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you pretty men go out, or handsome men go out into the world,
pretty sometimes,
and you get hit on, do you come home and tell your girl that some lady hit on you?
Sometimes.
Tell her that all the time that somebody new hit on you?
I do.
Or you just let it ride and tell your homeboys?
I do.
Some stories I tell the homeboys if she a special type of fine, and if I feel like they can appreciate that story better. But I often let my girl know, listen, she'll make a joke or I'm looking at, nigga, you ain't this. She trying to be funny. Yeah. Girl, I just got hit on in Publix. Girl, I could have left you 10 minutes ago,
bitch. You said I had a bad one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I could have started over nigga with a young bitch 22 minutes ago. What the fuck you talking about, ho? You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes I do tell her, what's there to hide?
I wonder if it's a pride thing, like holding up your trophy, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, everybody wants to know they still got it. You don't.
Got
it's not about using it. It's about knowing it's there. So you want to know somebody wants wants you.
I mean, niggas got a pistol at home, never want to have to shoot it.
Never.
That's true.
But he
That's
want a
true.
nigga to know
True.
he what?
He got a pistol.
Shit.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to talk about this. I know it seems like there's a lot of negative in social media, and there is. And I just want to touch on a few positives before I hit this next negative.
No, yeah, let's go to the positives. Yeah.
No, I don't. Fuck the positives because they're so few. There are things like to help long distance relationships with family. Keeps you apprised of what's going on in their life. You know what I mean? Things of that nature, memories, good times, maybe with some old college mates.
That's actually a good
That helps
point
keep
because
everybody in touch.
on multiple podcasts we talk about being nostalgic is very beneficial to your relationship. Just remembering what got you here, the good times, and it's going to help you get through kind of like a bridge through some troubled waters and shit. So for that purpose, I can see social media working.
Oh yeah, that's to that benefit. That's where I was started.
What I will say is another positive though is like when you're starting the dating game, right?
Yeah.
This could be the vehicle and the avenue for you to get some further insight on saying, is this really the person, the man or
That's
the
a
woman
great one.
that I really want to be with? If I go on there and he's doing all this charity work and she's in church and all this type of stuff, that's going to go a long way.
I was going to say social media is also a good platform to find out about information, places to eat, things to buy,
True,
reviews before you purchase. It's a really good place for
Travel.
Right, exactly. All those places. And before I travel, I see videos and commentary on the places I'm staying, the city I'm going
It's
to
being
be in.
used for many other things
Extremely
to run their
useful.
business as
Yes.
far as, you know what I mean?
So-
It's for websites and things of that nature.
That is a complete
People are
infrastructure
going
in
away
itself.
from it.
Yeah.
Actual websites and
Yeah.
just using Facebook pages. And it's actually smart because social media is the best marketing right now.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
but I agree
Yeah.
back to what you were saying though, Jen, about basically getting a snapshot of that person's life. And that's why these days when you meet someone, they don't want your phone number, they want your IG. Because they want to go on there, check your picture, see, okay, nigga, you went to Cuba last year. I see you got a little bit, you got a little something to you. And
You're a
things
little culture.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
these type of things
Cultured.
gives you a look at them. So, and you check them out and say, no, I seen your page. So I think people are going that way. It is a nice snapshot of your life. But again, some of it could be fake. Nigga holding up 10 stacks, nigga, he work at a bank and shit.
Yeah, but you might come up on a nigga page like DJ Envy, man, and have you reevaluate your life. You know
Trying to
what I
tell
mean?
you. Trying to tell
If
you.
y'all don't know, go
Right.
check out Envy page, by the way.
Yeah.
Get your motivation up.
Trying to tell you. So, and family bonding. I think with long distance family, us definitely being from Jamaica, like it's easier for you to share your lives and keep up with what's going on. Because realistically, if it wasn't for social media, I don't think we know what our distant cousins and aunts and uncles are really doing with themselves. You know what I mean? And that's dope
Yeah.
to be able to be in their lives that way, even if it is just a comment and a like.
It is
you
a
know what
good
I mean?
connect. I mean, that's what the whole premise of Facebook originally was about, was just creating those connections and then keeping people involved in each other's lives that typically wouldn't have that physical contact day in, day out. So, I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Now, while all of that sounds beautiful, and
Right.
Facebook really does bring the beauty. That was family. I almost cried, only in my left eye. I want to bring up what Facebook has also allowed. It has given an opportunity to essentially
Have lives ruined.
thank you. That's the short version of what I was going to say, but to safely date, and I quote unquote safely date while being in a relationship because of the ability to constantly be on the phone. Now, everyone's on their phone. So if you're on your phone all day long, no one thinks you're doing anything wrong. You in Facebook, you just scrolling. You don't know who hitting up on the quick messenger DM real quick. You sliding back in this, everything look clear. And I think it's allowing people to connect not only with past flings and past relationships, but even new people.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I get a Facebook request of someone I had no clue at all, but they live in the county. Like they know a friend of a friend of a friend, and they seen a nigga was cute and was just trying to get in. Like these hoes ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to you hoes. I appreciate you. I see you out here.
That's crazy.
I know. You see something good, I get it.
Hustle
You know
hard, baby. Hustle
what I'm
hard.
saying? Sure. So what do you think about that, Des? I mean, niggas got to keep it real out here. It's been easy pickings with this Facebook cheating thing. A lot of niggas getting caught up with it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of people getting caught up with it.
Women
Also-
too, I bet.
Yeah, I also think, kind of in that same vein is the ability to safely stalk, right? Because Facebook has made it pretty clear that they don't
True.
allow you to know who's visited your page or things like that. So you can go out here and really stalk and see people's lives. And you'd be surprised how many people get the phone numbers and, one party or the other realizes the next day, man, this person's got a whole damn family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly.
It's and you got to watch out for those fake pages, people. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, nigga could have a full family, but on his page, he's single and he lives, you know what I'm saying, in Sanford and shit, but that nigga really lives in St.
Why you do Sanford like that, though?
No, I'm saying he lives in St. Cloud, nigga, with a family of 7 and shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's the whole premise of Catfish. Catfish had to been, that MTV show was all based off of this ability to get over on people. Yeah. I mean, that's really the premise is, how do I get over on someone and mislead them in such a way? To have that vehicle be so prominent in our lives, man, that gotta lead to a lot of fucked up situations. Yeah. You know anybody who's been ousted on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that?
Like Catfish?
Catfish, yeah.
Yeah, I know a lady.
Well, just give us the high level.
And it's just so funny that somebody actually had to tell her, like, it's a show about people doing this. Like, she's like, is it? I'm like, yes. Like, don't believe everything online. You really got to do some research. You got to hit a few links, open up a few friends. And when people try to follow me, if they don't have any pictures posted, I'd be like, no. Oh, yeah. You're a stalker or whatever you are. This is bull crap. But yeah, you know, caught up in the Matrix. The guy has I love him. I'm like, no, you don't. You didn't even know him. You never met him.
Never met a nigga. You know? Love him? Damn.
Hey, but there's a whole show about that, like that 90-day fiance or some shit like
that's
that.
True. That's true.
And they go to another country and meet them motherfucker, and they be about to get married and have a baby.
But
first, you got to get an STD test, ho, because I don't trust you.
That's not what they asked. They
no, the one in Brazil.
They get a green card, actually.
No, the one in Brazil. He told her before we have relations, I really got to see.
No, yeah, she been hoeing her whole. How you think she ate yesterday? You know what I'm saying? She been hoeing her whole goddamn life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Shit. That's
all $17
worth. No education pussy, nigga. That's what do you do for a living?
I will.
Some of the best.
That's crazy. But I will say another good thing about social media, because I am on social media. I like to shop on social media, and it's also a good you know, when there's a natural disaster, you can check in safe. I do like that aspect, because sometimes my family's worried because I travel a lot for work, and if it's an earthquake in Puerto Rico and I was just there, they're like, oh wait, where this nigga at? Like, you know, they'll send out a little alert, you know, so you can check in.
You weren't over there when that happened, were you?
No, thankfully, I wasn't there during that earthquake. But most times I am there. I'm usually everywhere, but I travel a lot. So
call in sick today. They say Puerto Rico next time. Just say, you know what? I'm not feeling too well.
That's all right. Whole island will be over here soon.
I did get stranded during Hurricane Harvey, because at the time I lived in Houston, and I flew out to Atlanta to a christening, and of course all the flights got canceled, so I couldn't go home for like almost like a week and a half. Thank God I got good friends in other states that let me live at their house for free. But
Jeezy and Dez and Alex, what do you guys think about people who expose too much on social media? For example, I've done seen people going live, having an argument with their significant other and going in. I've seen people get beat up in those same contexts. I mean, what do you feel about sharing too much on social media?
I'm an open book, and I've always been that way. So if I'm going to talk face to face, I'm going to say too much. So if I'm going to type something on Facebook, I'm probably going to say too much. Now, I don't believe in sharing details. I don't believe in saying names. I don't believe in being messy. But if I have a strong opinion about something that would likely ruffle feathers of other people, I'm going to say it anyway, because I don't give a fuck. So that's, in my way, that's how I share too much. I don't get messy with it. I just say what's on my mind, what everybody thinks. And 9 times out of 10, I get a lot of niggas to agree, but it's so real and upfront, it's taken harshly. You know what I mean?
Okay, but Des, to that point, don't you think that you doing that, whether no one knows about it other than your significant other, they know that, hey, this is directed towards me, and the platform that you're choosing to use that is someone on a national footprint or a global footprint somehow intensify the fucking issue 10 times over now because you just ousted them in front of everybody?
Yes,
I mean, that could fuck your situation up way worse. What do you think, Dad?
Yeah, so I told y'all I don't understand this. Like the bottom line is
he's funny.
Yeah, I don't understand any of this. I don't understand any of this.
So you talking about from the sense of your job or the sense of your relationship?
For example, you having an issue that she can't keep a clean home, and you go on social media.
Shouldn't post that.
No, I'm just saying you go on social media and you hit a meme and that's all about a dirty hoe, and then you be like, listen, I can't understand anyone who can thrive in this situation.
That's not a bad situation.
But what are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
What are you trying to accomplish by doing that?
People use social media as an outlet like therapy sometimes.
And I agree.
Well, that's the wrong fucking therapy.
It is. And it is.
Do it
all the time.
And difficult.
And at the same time I say it is, and I also remember that moments ago I just said I do that. So why I feel what you're saying, I feel how I do it from my standpoint, it's more generalized. I don't do it from the standpoint, and it could be selfish. And if I'm in a relationship with a person, if they're sensitive, I can see them taking it badly and feeling like I'm trying to call them out. To me, I think I was and everything's situational, and I'm not making excuses. For me, I was in a situation where I wasn't able to communicate this with them and then be receptive towards it. So I was in a position where I was being kind of ignored and shut out. So it was like, oh, you don't want to hear me? Hear me. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was different for me, but I do agree because obviously I don't know, you don't really use social media that much, but I had pulled back for the last few years. Nigga, I couldn't tell you that I may have been on Facebook, nigga, 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So I pulled back drastically, but I do agree that, some people do it for the show and shit, but I never really had that intention, It was therapy.
People use it for therapy all the time. You see all these women man bashing after they get out of a bad relationship, and you see about 25 different memes or quotes or whatever the case may be as a form of therapy.
I understand what you're saying. I'm saying that's dumb. I'm saying I know that people do that. I'm saying that's the wrong idea. People drink and drive. That shit's dumb too, right? So I understand that people do it. I understand that people do it, but I'm a confrontational person, and I mean that in the best sense of the word. If I have a problem at work with a friend, with a significant other, with a relative, I'm going to go to them and say, "Hey, I got to talk to you. I got a problem about this." And you can do that in a respectful way. Being confrontational doesn't mean you have to be rude or off-putting. It just means confronting an issue. So when I say I don't understand this shit, I don't understand subvert ways of letting somebody know you're upset with them.
Versus direct communication.
Alex,
I agree.
Alex, do you find when people do that and kind of communicate their feelings via social media, do you see it as slightly passive-aggressive?
Yeah, I do. I don't like it. Just call me. I'm a very direct person. Just tell me what it is and what it ain't. And we can get past it, or we won't. Maybe we won't get past it. But we gotta be okay with whatever the outcome is, because my choice is my choice. And I don't like it when people live stream arguments or live stream
let's
fights,
chop it up.
because it's like, just handle your business.
I would never do that.
You can. Once you put this out there, you can get fired. Like my company I work for, we have to sign a social media agreement every 3-4 months because so much stuff keeps happening. People get fired for posting certain stuff. So I barely post. I post my travel, and that is it.
That's it.
I don't want them to ever be like, "Oh, you fired. You call somebody out their name, they're offended." The whole gay community, black community, white, whatever, whoever community is offended, I'm fired over something that I meant being funny, or I meant what happened at work, and whatever. I just kind of keep a lot of stuff to myself. But I just feel like you're asking for more trouble if you put it on social media and you haven't even resolved it. Now, if you want to vent, like, you know what, I found this girl was an ain't shit ass bitch. I'm done with this ain't shit ass bitch. Fuck her. That's different. If you want to vent and, do that. But if you want to salvage a relationship, then I don't think you should.
See, I have to defend my ways, because I feel like y'all talking about me and my mama, and she don't appreciate that. But I use it again so different. I really try to speak to the issue that I'm going through myself. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to say, "Oh yeah, she ain't doing this," and a woman supposed to. I try to speak to the underlying tone. I do. You know my shit. My shit was long as fuck. But I try to speak to the underlying issue so the woman can understand, because I think that's ultimately why we're even doing this. And this is a lot of the reasons why we used to talk like, man, we should record her. Because some of the shit we come out with,
cathartic, man.
Real shit. So to be able to pass along so a woman can understand it, man, because isn't that the greatest disconnect? Isn't that why relationships go wrong? We're not understanding each other. And if you don't understand a man's mindset, if I don't understand a woman, it's not going to work. I would love somebody to coach me through understanding a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, right? Since the dawn of time.
And we are simple, but we are complicated. But I think we are really simple, and I think women, it's just making a little bit more than it really is. And I really want to say that to y'all. Simplify it.
No, I don't.
Another
Okay,
topic.
I understand what you're saying. Some women can be very dramatic. Do not get me wrong, but some men can be also kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all I have to say is
Fuck
we are
boy.
all the sum total of our life experience.
True.
So certain things trigger certain emotions from people. Like I just had to go off on him yesterday because he didn't want to drive. He said, "You made me feel like you don't want me driving your car when we go out." I said, "I want you driving any car because you are from New York and you drive aggressively all the time. I just want you to
Word.
slow down."
I
He's like, "I
understand
can't
that.
do that."
Word.
I was
From
like,
Miami, you know, we from Miami, so we
Slow
drive like it's
down,
NASCAR,
just
nigga, every
slow
time.
down.
DC the same
No,
way.
I
You
just
gotta
said,
be
okay, I'll
aggressive.
drive just
Yeah.
to stop the argument, you know?
Yeah.
Word.
Drive like you grew up in Sarasota or something.
Bradenton.
Right.
You
But
know-
that goes back to where you say men are simple. Y'all like, okay, you don't like it, I won't do it. It's just
Yeah.
it's simple and cut for you.
Because another trend that's happening now is on social media. A lot of people are starting to post their nasty shit.
What you
And
mean?
like,
I mean,
they
I'm
out
not
there
enlightened.
having,
What nasty
they out there having sex, sucking dick. I saw one
Well,
that was
on
so
social media?
I saw one that was so nasty. Let me tell you how nasty this
you didn't
was.
send me the link,
No,
nigga?
No, I ain't send you the link.
Oh,
though. I'm
my
gonna
bad.
find it though.
I'm a
I'm talking
Christian.
about
Because-
research purposes.
Yeah,
strictly.
from solely because
I'm
this
a-
one is nasty.
I'm a
So
Christian. I don't want
Was
to
it
know.
worse than the
Des,
two
I'm gonna
girls
tell you
sitting
what
in
it
the
is.
cup?
Oh, Lord
No,
Jesus.
it was like this. So hold on, he was fucking this chick in the ass. The dick got real shitty.
Come on,
and then
man.
she jumped on it and started
Man,
sucking
hey,
the
hey,
dick.
I said stop it,
Hey,
man.
you gotta
sucking the
time
dick.
out.
I
Time
said
out.
stop it. There's
What?
certain things you don't get past. You could have implied that. You
I
know,
wasn't ready.
dog,
Hey.
I'm a verbalist. You could have said that without saying
Hey,
that.
we need to edit this out.
That was horrible.
We need to edit this
Nobody
out.
wanted to hear that
This
shit.
stays-
We
this
tried to
stays
warn
in.
him. We
This
tried to
stays
warn him.
in.
And
No.
dog, whoever
Who
that
are your
woman is,
friends on Facebook?
This was something that someone said to me, saying like people are
Hey,
out of control.
whoever
That's a fucking
that-
outlier, bro.
whoever that woman is, and whatever other woman would even do that shit, probably have. You nasty bitch. And I tell you this,
Right.
ain't none good gonna come in your life, ho. God damn it. You heard it from me. You nasty bitch. Ain't none good. And I'm a nasty nigga. So if I say it, you know, you ain't shit. You hear me?
That's tough.
Figuratively and literally.
She hated though.
Yeah,
It'll
apparently.
be all right. It'll be all right, boo boo. But you gotta change.
Why you gotta use
change.
why do you gotta
She's
use
gonna have
boo-boo?
all type of mono and
The only Jesus can
If you,
save
if you
you.
listen
Go
to
to the
boo boo, you
altar.
gotta change. You
Go
still
to the
got time,
altar.
baby. You can still
Jesus
change.
saves.
Seriously, it's so out of hand that even people like if they want to oust someone because they found out that hey they had another woman or
You gonna keep
or
this
another
going, huh?
man, what they end up doing is they'll post their own sex tape right on social media. And
Oh,
so
but
it
like-
it just perpetuates how messy social. It gives you a platform for continual
Everything.
messiness.
That Tierra sex tape was nice, though.
I need to see it though. I
Oh,
haven't
you
seen
never
it.
saw it?
No,
dog.
you'll send it to
And
me
not
for research
dog,
purposes.
The Tierra from the Love and Hip Hop. I know you seen that one, girl.
She got
You
it.
ain't
Oh
seen
no,
it?
I didn't see it.
Oh,
No.
girl, we're gonna
She
get
has a
that
sex
to you.
tape?
Yeah, it was a clip that she had with the dude. I forget his name. The one that had four
Jabbar.
girlfriends.
Oh yeah.
So
That
you
guy.
did see it.
That weird guy.
Yeah, and she deep throated the dick, and then she looked up at him with when their eyes real big because they on their knees, and she kind of had some tears. The mascara was dripping. That's beautiful.
That is
You know,
nice.
that was a special moment.
Okay.
And he was like, "You want me to keep recording?" And she like, "Yes, daddy." And then she put the dick back in her mouth.
Hey, I don't know about this, but this sounds amazing.
It was amazing.
I'm happier
dog.
than I
I'm
was
not
10
gonna
seconds
lie.
ago.
I'm not gonna
I
lie.
can see
It
the
was
joy in
amazing.
your
Now,
eyes.
who is it? Who
I
is this
would-
again?
this-
Tierra?
Tierra, yeah. It's
You want us to spell it for you?
have a
Yeah,
last
it'll
name?
pull up easily. No, in fact, I can WhatsApp you. I think I got the clip.
I appreciate
I
that.
don't know
Yeah,
why
that's
it was
crazy.
only a 15-second clip.
Oh,
I
I don't
needed
want
at
15
least.
seconds.
I needed 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 to 15.
I don't
I
want
mean,
it.
20 would have been nice,
Not
but
worth my
you know.
time. I have my faves that are 2 minutes long.
No,
won't
I
go
promise you though, it's worth it to say you seen. No, not too bad. 15 seconds. I don't think any nigga can finish that fast.
To even take it even a step further, there has been situations where, let's say, a woman gets upset with a man and she knows he has a particular health condition. So in this example,
Oh,
the guy
my
had
God.
AIDS,
Oh my God!
and she went
Wow.
and she went and told. She put it on social media, and then it started this network of people that he fucked. That everyone now finally had the information to be able to go
But
proactively
wasn't
or,
that his girl?
or more reactively go and seek some professional
But that
medical
wasn't
help.
his girl. Wasn't that her man?
Yes.
So she had it too. Then.
But she found out and she posted it, and a network came out of the woodwork.
So he was cheating and giving it to
I hate
other.
that.
No, he should.
So
that's
but,
the death
but
penalty
that's
right there.
also. I mean, I wonder if that's a positive. in a way.
That's a
'cause-
positive and a
Yeah.
negative, only because of the reaction that it got, but it could also have a reaction of those women he fucked and gave it to come kill his ass, cut off his dick like Lorena Bobbitt. You know,
He
it could be
deserve it.
a negative or a positive.
Yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, man. I know we kind of ended it like that, but
That's a weird way to end it, dog. Please tell me you have anything else
no,
to
I'm
say.
just saying. I'm just thinking about how intense things really, really get, man. So
I think social media can be used in many ways. I liked,
Yeah.
what was that hip hop one? What's the hip hop website? Oh man, shit.
World Star?
World Star, nigga. Now that's good social media right there.
man.
Couple hood fights, fat booties, nigga.
World
You know, a
Star
couple
doesn't wanna
naked,
bring down
couple
black
titties here and there.
community the last
So
5 years and then anything else the last
yeah,
20.
and but what I mean by that is the videos, even though some of them obviously portrayed negativity, they were fun. You know what I mean? And I think I want you all to know that social media can be fun. And it doesn't always have to be that negative shit.
yeah,
That's
You raise
true.
money on social media too.
We always send the funny videos through our messenger between me and my
Yeah.
family and my brothers. It's so funny.
it is. And so basically, just kind of to wrap it up. One of the stats that I found, because I love to do a little research on some of this stuff. It really did say that 60% of social media reported that it has a negative impact. So 60% of people feel like it has a negative impact to their self-esteem. 50% of the people reported that it had a negative impact to their relationship. And 80% reported that it was easier to deceive others using social media. So you look at that in a nutshell, I'm truly wondering, is social media a positive thing at fucking all?
Let me just say this. It's positive for communication purposes. If there's an emergency, if there's a shooting at the school, or you need to live stream something that's pertinent to life or death, I feel like that's good. And it's good I like to watch the puppies, play. I like stuff like that. I always look for cute stuff with the kids and the puppies. But if you're going to use it to tear down another human being, I don't use it for that. I don't know why people do that, because life is hard as it is as an individual. It's hard. Life is a real journey. And as you get older, now you see why people always say that to you, because the race that you're running is going to be totally different from somebody else's. And so you can't keep comparing yourself to somebody else's G5 situation.
True.
And be like, I need to be doing that. That's not your ministry. Okay, God's going to give you something else. What's for you is for you, okay?
I'd be riding bicycles, but
I like social media. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm not going to write it off, because it's a good way to shop and do business and do podcasts. But
True.
you have like your like he said, you have to be in control of yourself as an individual.
Good point.
Just like drinking and driving, you got to be in control of yourself. You got to
2
make the best
drinks
decision
minimum
for you.
or maximum. Yeah,
Yeah.
maximum. Yeah. But no, like anything or most things, it's not what it is, but how you use it. So social media can be used for good and can be used for negative. That's all on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? Get it in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe your life. We got some good topics coming up. I want to wet your whistle a little bit and say we're going to be talking about porn next time.
Oh, can y'all call me back for that part?
Hey,
There's
you
a
want to
lot
be
of
on
things.
that? Part 2 with Alex?
Listen,
We down for that?
And we always, y'all know how we do on these sex and emotions,
Hey.
but we're going to really get into porn.
We getting
See,
into
porn needed its own topic. We
Hey,
we
leave
couldn't
your mom at
combine
the
that.
house. Leave
You
your
know what
mom
I'm
and your
saying?
kids at the house.
Yeah,
You
so
know
we're
what I'm
going to
talking
get it in. We getting nasty, too.
Hey,
'cause
man.
listen,
That's finally got happy.
I'm into some kinky
Let me
shit,
tell you
too.
something.
You know?
I know about McCraft.
I'm trying to tell you.
You know
Y'all wasn't into the kinky stuff when I described that situation.
No,
but it's
that
okay,
wasn't
though.
kinky.
That shit
That
was
was
like weird.
disgusting.
I was
Yeah.
like, what the
Yeah.
fuck
That's
is he talking
disgusting.
about?
That was not
Yeah.
kinky, nigga. You think that's kinky, nigga?
Situation.
That's disgusting,
Yeah,
nigga.
like super.
That's
Everything you
disgusting.
brought up the
I
last
could
10
just-
minutes, that shit was all nasty to me. I want to know part
All I
of it.
thought of was a health issue with health, like mouth
Yeah.
sores all over
Yeah.
her mouth, eating her own shit.
Would
That's
you
the
ever want to
first thing
kiss
I
her
thought.
again?
Yeah.
Would you ever want to kiss? How could you trust a woman that would do that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she don't even love herself. Nigga.
Yeah.
We'll
It
probably
just
have to.
it does sound like the CDC should just showed
Oh
up.
my
You know what I'm
God,
saying?
dog.
It's some hazmat. You know what I'm
Quarantine
saying?
that whole room, nigga. Quarantine that whole room.
We might have to hit Alex back for the porn episode.
Definitely,
though.
girl.
Woman's
Hey.
perspective.
Listen.
Hey, that's what I'm
Listen,
talking about.
you know what I mean? Because we always act like they don't want to watch it. I love when a chick
Hey,
say, "Hey
I
man,
watch
turn
it.
that flick on, man. Let's fuck something."
Hey, we put a disclaimer on that bitch too.
You
There
know?
gonna be no motherfucking judgment.
Yeah.
All right, keep
Oh,
this
yeah.
shit all the way 100%
Yeah.
candid and real.
Very.
You know, niggas might say some
Yeah.
shit that make you feel a certain way. Love yourself.
I'm not
All right,
gonna
let's
judge
keep it
you,
real.
but I do find the foot porn a little weird. I'm
We'll-
not
we'll-
judging
we'll
them,
get into
but we're
that.
gonna get into
We
that.
gonna
We're
get
gonna
into
get
that.
See, I find
Let's get
yeah,
into
foot
that
porn or
next time.
anything with with
How
small
can you grab the
undeveloped
dick
women.
with 2 feet? I don't know. Maybe I need to try. Okay,
You
go
ever
ahead.
got an oiled up
All
foot
right.
job though?
No, I've never. That's possible. I didn't know.
I got one in high school.
We're not doing this.
In high school?
That was a little taste.
Nigga, what school did you go to, nigga?
I got a story for you.
Can we say
Tune in to the next episode?
My high school experience was very disappointing all of a sudden. Okay.
Clearly. Hey, but real quick before we get into it, we just want to say we really, really appreciate Alex on this podcast. This may not be the last time because she just said she wanted to be a part of the porn episode. So we got to work that out, have a woman's perspective possibly. So
definitely.
Yeah.
You know?
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. We out on Facebook, Instagram. We're on YouTube, huge presence. We're on all social media platforms to include Apple, Google, Spotify. Find us.
We use the social media the right way.
Yeah.
We're not hitting hoes. We just, you know what I'm saying, letting our podcast.
Type Brunch with the Boys. Google it, man. We out here.
Yeah. Coffee and brunch. We can have our conversations over coffee and brunch. Ha.